Sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin. And death came to all men because all men have sinned. For by the trespass of one man, Adam, sin reigned from his time to the time of Moses. This sin brought condemnation to all men, made us slaves to sin, that it caged us to continuously bow to its manipulating power. Sin was like an ocean we couldn't swim out from, stuck with no Moses to divide the sea, so we got drowned slowly. And the things we clearly would want to step ourselves for doing were the things we love doing, and the things we want to do are exactly what we find ourselves not doing. And we had to live with our sinful nature mocking and waging war against us, and like a dictator dictating what we should display, because we were slaves to sin. But Adam was a man. And if by his trespass we became slaves to sin, something can be done to make us slaves to righteousness. So God knew how to solve this seemingly hard equation, that he brought his son, and when we were still powerless, struggling with the sinful nature, he came and died for us, the ungodly, to make us godly. So God made us receive his abundant provision of grace and of the gift of righteous reign in life through one man, Jesus Christ, who obeyed. So by his obedience cancelled the disobedience of the man that made us sinners. It made us righteous. So we are slaves to righteousness, and see, there is nothing we can do about it, because grace is so sufficient that where sin abounds, it abounds more. And just as sin reigned in death, grace reigned in righteousness. But are we to continue to sin that grace may abound? Came a question from the curious mind that couldn't fathom how it could be possible for a man to choose to die for sinners. Understanding how difficult it is to agree to die for the unrighteous, because believe me, it is easier to die for the righteous, who is at least qualified to be redeemed, but we are sinners, unworthy. But he didn't count all this. He gave his life and still left out his grace to help us live right. What a wonder. It was hard to believe, but then believe. So the question again, but this time with an answer: are we to continue to sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Because you are dead to sin. It is no longer you that lives, but Christ lives in you, and you should never set aside the grace of God. For if righteousness was gained by our acts of obeying the Lord, then Christ died for nothing. You are dead to sin. Your old self has been crucified with Christ. The sin may be done away with, for anyone who died has been freed from sin. You are dead to sin and alive to God in Christ. Sin is no longer your master, for you are no more under law but under grace. You are free from the law of sin and death. Your mind is no longer controlled by natural desires, but that of the Spirit, which brings peace and life. Your body is dead because of sin, yet your spirit is alive because of righteousness. The same Spirit which raised Jesus Christ from dead dwells in you, giving life to your mortal bodies, helping you put to death the misdeeds of the body. Through him we break away from fear and we cry, Our Father, because it testifies with our own spirit that we are the sons of God. That's why we can boldly come to his presence, less of self and more of him, because it's not about us, but about what he has done to give us what we have and enjoy today, righteousness. So we are the righteousness of God in Christ, seated with him in heavenly places far above principalities and powers. So it is right and wonderful to offer your body as an instrument of righteousness, because you are a slave to righteousness.